Welcome back. Starting off with our top story tonight, the death toll as a result of floods has risen to 76 after 6 more people died following flash floods in parts of the country. The whereabouts of 19 others remains unknown, while 29 others are nursing injuries sustained due to the effects of the rains. This comes as the government has stepped up efforts to save those marooned by the waters, calling on those in areas listed as flood-prone to move to safer ground. Timothy Kipnusu with details of the death and destruction from the rains.
Scenes of despair, devastation and grief is what welcomed us to Mathare North Primary School as rains continue to cause havoc in Nairobi and its environs. This compound is now the safe haven for more than 400 families forced out of their comfort of their homes due to flooding.
Tunaomba sana mtusaidie. Mashule zinaenda kufunguliwa. Hatujui tunafanya nini.
Maji ilienda na vitu zetu zote. Hatukutoa vitu kwa nyumba, tulitoka tu na ile nguo tulikuwa nayo kwa mwili.
Naomba mheshimiwa wangu TJ Kajwang, rudi uone watu wako walikupigia kura. Hata Sakaja, watu wako wanaumia. Leta msaada.
Kama hapa Mathare tunataka madona bado. Saa hizi World Vision wametenda wema, wameenda. Government pia tunangoja watende wema waende, na anybody wako wa kutusaidia tunaomba wakuje watusaidie.
The families received humanitarian aid, including a cash token donated by a non-governmental organization totaling to 10.3 million shillings.
Because some of them have lost shelter, they want to do a small rental somewhere. So we hope that with this foundation support, they will be able to do something. And our call is that we should be able to be joined by other like-minded, both private sector, the other NGOs, that let's come and support the people in Mathare settlement area, because the problem is huge.
Each household received at least 10,300 shillings.
We are hoping to continue to fundraise for this particular initiative, and so we are calling upon our partners and various humanitarian organizations to join hands with us, and for donors, because we are looking to raise 2.2 million USD to be able to attend to 85,000 lives and 14,000 households.
These as 9 more bodies were retrieved from River Kwasi in Sultana Mode. This brings to 12 the number of people who died in an accident in which a truck overturned on Friday as it attempted to cross a flooded road.
Tuko na hofu ya kwamba kuna watu zaidi ambao inashukiwa ya kwamba walibebwa na maji lakini hawajapatikana.
The government, through the spokesperson Isaac Mahura, has continued to call for caution during the rainy season.
Residents in all of the mentioned areas are advised to be on the lookout for potential floods, flash floods, and poor visibility. And we really need to emphasize on this, because we are seeing sometimes fellow Kenyans not taking very serious, very seriously what is happening.
Maura said 6 more people succumbed in the last 24 hours, bringing to 76 the total number of flood-related deaths. Additionally, he warned of massive overflows in dams such as Masinga.
If you look at the Masinga Dam, is a 3 by 3 kilometer radius, and it has spilled over by another 2 kilometers. And already, because of the previous rains, that control cannot be ascertained, because it has actually, as of yesterday, it had actually raised, it had spilled over by about 1.2 meters high. So please, fellow Kenyans, please move away from this. We are also expecting mudslides.
In the meantime, Kasarani lawmaker Ronald Karauri wants the government to pump more resources towards disaster management.
I've always complained about, in terms of allocation of the funds, even in terms of development in Nairobi, it needs to be done in such a manner that the places that are most affected get the lion's share of the funds.
And Kilifi County is staring at a humanitarian crisis as River Sabaki burst its banks.
Maji yameingia, yamesomba kila kitu, yamebeba kila kitu. Saa hii hakuna chochote ambacho wanategemea.
The ongoing rains have so far displaced 16,900 families, with 19 reported missing. Timothy Kipnusu for Legends Edition.
President William Ruto has secured Zimbabwe's support for Raila Odinga's bid for the African Union Commission AUC chairmanship. This comes in the wake of a unanimous decision by the African Union Executive Council on 15th of March 2024 that the Eastern Africa region submits candidates for the AU chairperson. Addressing during bilateral discussions at the Bulawayo State House on Saturday, Ruto underscored Kenya's pivotal role in advancing the Pan-African agenda through Raila's candidature.
In the race for the African Union Commission chairperson position, Kenya continues to seek allies to support her preferred candidate for the position. Zimbabwe is the latest country to pledge its support to Kenya's candidate Raila Odinga.
Kenya candidature is informed by the role that the country plays in enhancing our Pan-African agenda. I want to thank you, Mr. President, for your positive consideration of this matter, and I promise that we will work together towards a better Africa for all of us.
President Ruto's diplomatic efforts follow the African Union Executive Council decision in March 2024, mandating the East African region to nominate candidates. Kenya has presented its candidature for AUC chairperson for 2025-2028. Additionally, President Ruto expressed Kenya's solidarity with Zimbabwe, advocating for its readmission to the Commonwealth and calling for the lifting of unilateral sanctions against the country.
I wish to declare yet again Kenya's unreserved support for Zimbabwe's readmission to the Commonwealth. I also want to state, without fear of any contradiction and for the avoidance of any doubt, Kenya's support for Africa Union's call for the immediate lifting of the illegal sanctions against the Republic of Zimbabwe.
Also, my dear brother, applaud your stand regionally, continentally, internationally, where you have publicly denounced sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe.
During the bilateral discussions, Kenya and Zimbabwe signed 9 memoranda of understanding across various sectors, affirming their commitment to enhancing cooperation. The head of state reiterated Kenya's commitment to fostering strong bilateral relations with Zimbabwe.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now says the national government is taking a keen interest in the development of Nairobi County as part of its efforts to ensure the city maintains its stature as Kenya's capital and the country's economic, administrative and cultural centre. Speaking Saturday at a fundraiser for Langata constituency's Women Empowerment Programme at Nyayo Stadium, Nairobi, Gachagua said the city is too important to be left without efficient service delivery.
According to the DP, his keen interest in the development of Nairobi is informed by the fact that the city is a strategic business center of Eastern Central Africa. He said Nairobi is critical to the nation's socio-economic growth and development.
Nairobi is too important to be left just like that. The President and I will take a keen interest in what is going on. We are stakeholders of this city. Na mambo Nairobi kienda sawasawa, even ourselves we are happy. Kwa hivyo, nobody should worry ama aulize ni nini why we have that interest.
Gachagua also reiterated the national government's commitment to collaborate with leaders from both sides of the political divide to develop the city.
Mama Pasari, tutafanya kazi na wewe. Mheshimiwa Jalango, tutafanya kazi na wewe. Beatrice Elachi, tutafanya kazi na wewe. Hata hii kijana anaitwa Babu Wino ninamtafuta kuja tufanye kazi pamoja.
On the ongoing floods, the DP warned Kenyans to follow safety measures and guidelines issued to avoid any disaster.
Hata kama serikali inawasaidia, usiende kujitupa ndani ya maji. Nimeona kwa video watu wiko na lori wamejaa. Wanaona gari ingine pelekwa na maji, wanarudi hiyo lori wanaigiza ndani ya maji.
mwananchi anajua maji ikikuja ni lazima umsaidie kutoka ndani ya hiyo maji, ni lazima umletee chakula, ni lazima ufanye kila jambo. Wale wameaga, tunaomba Mungu akawalaze mahali pema.
50,000 makofi.
Meanwhile, the DP who presided over Langata constituency women's empowerment program at Nyayo Stadium said the government is deliberately rolling out programs to empower women for the good of the nation.
Na kwa hivyo akina mama, mimi napongeza nyinyi kwa mambo ya biashara. Mpanue biashara zenu na sisi tutaunga nyinyi mkono.
Nilikuwa nimesema hata wakati ya campaign kuwa tutasimama na wamama, tutaboost biashara zenye tayari mnafanya na kuhakikisha kuwa mama wetu wote wanasimama na wako na kitu ya kufanya mtaani.
Sasa hii serikali imeongeza mwaka huu pesa ya ngafu. Tulikuwa kuna pesa kidogo sana. Tulienda tukakaa na rais akatuongezea bilioni 1 kama wamama.
For Legends Edition, I'm Joseph Wahungu.
The Central Organization of Trade Unions has opposed the government's plan to convert all civil servants under permanent and pensionable scheme to contractual terms as a way of taming the runaway wage bill. Speaking at a shop stewards meeting at KOTU headquarters in Nairobi, KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli said the proposal by the Ministry of Public Service will not only destabilize the public service, but will also affect productivity. And as Abdiaziz Hashim now tells us, the unions have listed the demands they want addressed by the government on Labour Day, slated for the 1st of May 2024 at Uhuru Gardens.
One to Madam Chair and the other one to CSL.
All government workers, from driver to cleaners to everybody, will be converted to contract. There is not going to be anybody permanent anymore.
Proposals by the Public Service Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria to change public servants from permanent and pensionable terms to contractual seems to have left a bad taste in the mouths of trade unions in the country.
But it is our duty to correct wewe. Jumatano tutakucorrect wewe. Siku ya Jumatano.
Anaamka asubuhi anasema we are going to contractualize or casualize employment in public sector. Mutakubali hiyo?
Speaking at a shop stewards meeting at KOTU headquarters in Nairobi County, KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli maintained that the trade union will not sit pretty and allow workers' right to be infringed.
Kama wewe unataka kuweka kandarasi kwa serikali, inamaanisha nchi yote itaenda kandarasi mpaka private sector.
Hatutaki mambo ya serikali kusema ya kwamba tunataka kuweka wafanyikazi wote kuwa casuals ama contractors. Ukiweka contractors utapata pesa wapi ya kuendesha nchi?
Atwoli blamed the government for using many entities when negotiating collective bargaining agreements, which end up in failure.
Kwamba Kenya hii haitakuwa nchi ya makandarasi, itakuwa nchi ya kuandika watu katika kazi za kudumu. Si ndio? Kwa sababu nchi ni nchi ya kudumu, si nchi ya kandarasi.
KOTU has in the meantime listed demands it wants addressed by the head of state during the forthcoming Labour Day celebrations, slated for the 1st of May 2024. Top on the list is honouring CBAs, delayed salaries, and pay rise following the increase of taxes, among others. Abdiaziz Hashim, Legends Edition.
In the aftermath of the tragic boat accident on Lake Baringo that claimed 6 lives, one man's bravery has emerged as a beacon of hope. Wilson Lemkut, a father of 12 and a resident of Kokwa Island, steered the rescue operation that saved the lives of 16 children on that fateful day. Our reporter Opicho Chemtai brings us the untold story of the daring rescue mission of Lemkut, the unsung hero.
Early in the morning at the shores of Kokwa Island, we meet Wilson Lemkut, a fisherman at the island, ready to embark on the day's activities. The father of 12 and a resident of the island is the man behind the rescue of 16 children after the tragic boat accident at Lake Baringo. Lemkut takes us through the ordeal of that fateful day.
Kijana yangu mdogo akakuja akanipata nyumbani. Akaniambia ndio ile boat, kuna boat imesama na inaonekana kuna watu. Hapo ndio nilitoka nyumbani. Ndio nikaenda moja kwa moja mpaka kwa boat.
Arriving at the scene, Lemkut says that the boat had overturned and the panicky children were holding onto the boat.
Na ndipo tukaanza mambo ya uokoaji, tukasaidia hawa, tukaokoa. Na hapo tena nikaitana sababu upepo ilikuwa ni nyingi sana. Hata wakati nilipoingia maji nilifikiria kuenda sababu hiyo waves ilikuwa kali.
Despite the increasing weight of the boat, Lemkut's determination never faltered.
Wengine tumeokoa, tukapeleka mpaka huko kwa nyumbani. Tukawasaidia hawa kupatia chai sababu walikuwa wameumia kiasi ambaye wengine hata kuongea ilikuwa ni ngumu.
Lemkut, who has an experience of more than 30 years of sailing through Lake Baringo, said none of the 23 occupants had a life jacket.
Inafaa boat iwe ikienda, lazima awe na life jacket, tembee na life jacket, sababu wakikuwa na life jacket haitatokea madhara kama haya.
This even as he pointed out traditional ways of knowing when to cross the lake to avoid such accidents.
Kila mahali tu kuna mawimbi, kuna mawimbo, mawingu ile mzito. Lazima inatoa tu tahadhari ya kwamba usiingie bahari. Mpaka ionekane hiyo upepo ikikuja, ikishakuja lazima baadaye itatulia.
Lemkut's act of selfless heroism stands as a testament to the human spirit of unwavering courage in the face of adversity. Opicho Chemtai, Legends Edition.
Well done, Wilson Lemkut. Daring rescue, saving the lives of 16 children. May the Almighty always bless you. Right, it's time for a quick break, and we'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Tumewakumbuka. Kenya Revenue Authority is writing off penalties and interest on outstanding tax debt for tax periods up to 31st December 2022. Act now. Pay off your outstanding tax debt in easy installments by 30th June 2024 and watch those penalties and interests vanish. Scan the QR code or visit the KRA website for guidelines on how to apply. You can also call us on 0711 099 999 or visit any of the nearest KRA offices. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to set your tax records right. Anza upya na KRA Tax Amnesty. Kenya Revenue Authority. Tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwenye star 570 hash. Every 100 shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw ambayo inakupa fursa ya kujishindia moja kati ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings na unapata title deed yako safi. Na mwisho wa Mei namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga. Ploti ndizo hizi. Dial star 570 hash. Title deed ndio hii. Vuka na shake.
Ili kupata msubiri Mungu kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza star 812 star 501 hash.
Kijana kanipigia simu amejawa na huzuni. Amefadhaika yuhoi. Nikamuuliza kunani? Japo nimetia jitihada za mtu wa kujenga nyumba kwa mate, nikaongeza kumcha Mungu, sifanikiwi. Naishi kama lofa mlala hoi. Kabwela wa madongo
kupata msubiri Mungu kama sikiza tune, bonyeza star 812 star 501 hash. Star 812 star 501 hash.
Comprehensive motor vehicle insurance covers death and bodily injury to passengers, death and bodily injury to pedestrians, damage to third-party property, loss or damage to vehicle due to fire, theft and accident. Comprehensive insurance does not cover the driver and owner of the vehicle. Consider taking a personal accident to cover driver and owner of the vehicle. Motor vehicle insurance cover is not transferable. When you sell your vehicle, remember to cancel your policy. Read and understand the terms and conditions of your policy. This message is brought to you by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA. Bima bora kwa taifa.
The government of Kenya, in partnership with the World Bank Group, will host the International Development Association, IDA, for Africa Heads of State Summit on April 29, 2024. The summit, to be held at Kenyatta International Convention Center, Nairobi, will identify key priorities for development financing in Africa and champion an ambitious financing replenishment of IDA resources, or IDA 21. IDA 21 will support transformational development objectives for the Africa region. The high-level summit hosted by the President of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, and the President of the World Bank Group, Ajay Banga, will convene African leaders, development partners, private sector actors, civil society organizations, youth, and other stakeholders. The expected outcome of the summit will be the adoption of the Nairobi Communique. The summit will culminate in the launch of the Coalition for IDA. The Coalition for IDA is a multi-stakeholder movement to support the IDA 21 replenishment. The IDA Coalition launch will amplify the voices coming out of the summit on the vital importance of IDA and its role for Africa. This event will be live on KBC Channel 1 from 8 a.m.
Welcome back. 10 students are set to receive a grant totaling 6 million shillings to develop projects aimed at addressing climate change. The grant marks a significant investment in nurturing young talent and supporting impactful initiatives in environmental sustainability.
This is the result of a competitive process that we have run. We have run a call for proposals, and as a result of this call for proposals, we have awarded this initial 3 grants to the 6 institutions. These 6 institutions are working as 3 different partnerships.
Such collaborations are critical because we can talk about joint research, joint publications. We are talking about co-creation and co-production of knowledge.
To apply their theoretical knowledge into a real challenge and also use their problem-solving and critical thinking skills to provide a solution that the industry partner is going to take up and ultimately help them become more sustainable.
Been cautioned against announcing and awarding unattainable dividends to members with an aim of competing with other SACCOs. Commissioner for Cooperatives David Obonyo said the practice has left many SACCOs struggling financially.
Speaking during the Sauti SACCO's annual delegates meeting in Nairobi, the Commissioner for Cooperatives said the government is in the process of developing an insurance fund with an aim of cushioning members of cooperative societies from losing their entire savings in case of a misfortune.
Every SACCO, especially licensed SACCOs, they are going to become part of the fund so that in case there is any challenge and foreseen problem for any SACCO, members don't lose the entire of their deposits.
He further warned against what he termed the SACCOs giving the members false dividends to compete with other SACCOs.
I'm aware that a number of our SACCOs have been trying to have creative accounting in order to please their members by giving them false dividends, false interest on deposits, whereas they doesn't reflect the true picture of their performance.
On his part, Sauti Sacco Chair Elin Ndwiga highlighted the Sacco's strategic plan to improve the efficiency.
We are also focusing and looking at having our own FOSA, and so we also be deposit taking. And those are targets that we have put currently is that we want to be, before the end of the year, to be a deposit taking Sacco also.
Sauti Sacco members received a dividend of 8% in the current financial year. Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
The National Assembly Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock has bumped into 107 bags of GPC super fertilizer in Homa Bay County, suspected to be counterfeit. The MPs were on a fact-finding mission on the alleged distribution of substandard fertilizer in the country. More of these in the county's wrap.
Redokelo said the findings were also accompanied by a farmer's complaint raising concerns over the authenticity of the distributed fertilizers.
We have also noted actually that a farmer came here and registered his complaint on the same. As in line with the policy directive now, that farmer ought to have been compensated his 6 bags because that is the policy.
Meanwhile, the World Bank-funded Agriculture Portfolio and Agripreneur Model Project is set to be rolled out in 46 counties.
This initiative will promote data-driven decision-making processes and proper targeting of sector interventions. I encourage you to take advantage of this rich data platform to link up with business providers for productive engagement with farmers.
Meanwhile, Meru County Commissioner Jacob Ouma has assured residents living along the border of Meru County and the neighboring county of Isiolo of their maximum security, noting that issues of cattle rustling have been contained.
Hatua madhubuti zimechukuliwa. Tumeweza kuhakikisha kwamba vitengo vya polisi walio pale, tuko na RDU, tuko na ASTU na hali kadhalika GSU na hali kadhalika General Duty Police ambao wanatoka Igembe North, wameweza kuhakikisha kwamba kuna doria za kutosha mchana na hali kadhalika usiku.
And a section of environmental organizations in the arid county of Marsabit have fallen back to using soca for conservation to spur community and youth engagement in an effort to increase forest cover and enhance wildlife conservation.
In Marsabit, we have 2.06% of the forest cover. And when we engage the community will be empowered to start tree nurseries and to conserve forests outside the forest, which we are seeing.
Finally, on matters education, over 8 million shillings have been disbursed to 900 needy and vulnerable students in secondary schools, tertiary colleges and universities in Nakuru County. Paulina Simil for Legends Edition.
Right after a short break, Topi Liambila will join us with the latest in sports news. Stay with us.
Watch the Mozartbet Cup as teams from both the top tier and low tier battle for the ultimate prize of representing the country in Africa's CAF Confederations Cup. Catch all the action live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, beginning with a round of 16 matches, the quarter-final, semi-final and the final. Mozartbet Cup, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Sports News is brought to you by Mozartbet.
Hello, good evening, and once again, it's a big welcome to the Legends Edition, the sports segment with Topi Liambila. I start off with the Mozart Cup, where KCB and Police FC advanced to the semi-finals of the Mozart Bet Cup after registering victories in their quarter-final matches played at Dandora Stadium. The Bankers defeated defending champions Homeboys Kakamega, while Police thrashed Sofapaka 4-0. Let's take a look.
Danson Namasaka scored the lone goal for KCB in the 59th minute to help his side qualify for the semi-finals as defending champions Kakamega Homeboys bowed out at the last 8.
Ni kukuja kwa mchezo tulikuwa najua kwamba hatuna chetu katika ligi kuu. So hii ndio kitu ambacho tunaenda kupigania. Na imekuwa ni mechi ambayo haikuwa rahisi, lakini pia tumepoteza nafasi nyingi sana sasa kipindi cha kwanza. Nashukuru tumepata hiyo point moja, tumeenda katika semi finali.
In another quarter-final match, David Okoth gave Kenya Police the lead against Sofapaka in the 24th minute. The Bankers came back rejuvenated in the second half, scoring 2 quick goals in the 55th and 69th minute, respectively, before adding the 4th in the stoppage time. Tomorrow, 2 matches are on card as AFC Leopards face FKF Division 1 Compel, while Kariobangi Sharks will lock horns with FKF National Super League side Assad. Teams will not only vie for the Mozart Bet Cup and the 2 million shillings cash prize, but also an opportunity to represent the country in the CAF Confederation Cup. The matches will be televised live on KBC Channel 1. King Warimwangi for Legends Edition.
From the CAF Champions League, Al Ahly of Egypt will take on Esperance of Tunisia in this year's Africa Champions League final, after the two sides won their respective semi-finals matches last night. Al Ahly, who have won 5 of the last 7 editions and a record 11 in total, booked their spot in the final of thrashing TP Mazembe of DRC Congo 3-0 in the second leg of the semi-final. ES Tunis defeated South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns 1-0 in Pretoria. This is some of the action from those semi-final matches.
Mazembe kicking from right to left in the first half, going long immediately.
Mohamed Abdelmonen, Wesamabu and Akram Tofik's extra time goal sealed Al Ahly's third victory after a goalless first half over TP Mazembe, beating them 3-0 in the second leg of their CAF Champions League game played last night at Cairo International Stadium in Egypt. Their first leg match ended in a barren draw.
Didn't need any support, did Akram Tofik.
On the other hand, Esperance of Tunisia trumped over Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa 1-0 in their second leg match, same results registered during their first leg to win 2-0 on aggregate.
With the first chance of the match for Esperance, and he didn't make any mistake.
Al Ahly will now face Esperance of Tunisia in the final next month, while Mamelodi Sundowns will play TP Mazembe in the third place playoff match.
Here, committing bodies forward, it all opened up.
Meanwhile, Sitiho Young FC and Mwangaza Starlets are the champions of the DRM Foundation 2 tournament after winning their respective men and women's finals played in Webuye, Bungoma County. Sitiho Young FC won the men's title after beating Handalala 4-3 on post-match penalties, while Mwangaza Starlets won the women's edition thanks to a 1-0 win over Handalala Starlets in the final. Some of the action.
The DRM Foundation April Games came to an end in Bungoma with Sitiko and Mwangaza football clubs emerging winners of the tournament. Sitiko had a difficult time against Kandalala men but managed to secure the title in post-match penalties, while Mwangaza managed to find the back of the net once against Kandalala women to take the title. The tournament was powered by Inua AI, a tech company that aims to create awareness about artificial intelligence, provide training in information technology, and offer job opportunities in the digital space.
Tumekuwa tukienda na rais wetu pia ICT ministry tukilaunch centers across Kenya. Nimefurahi pia tutapata mmoja hapa. Na kuna mmoja tunaenda kufungua huko Butere kwa ndugu yangu Julius Mwale. tutapeleka kompyuta 100 huko. Tukiongoja hata yetu ikitengenezwa, lakini tunataka kuanzia huko. Tujenge vijana wetu, hata wengine wakiwa hapo wataenda huko. At least hapa sio vile mbali.
The event, in partnership with Mwale Medical and Technology City, featured a total of 15 football teams. The principal investor at MMTC encouraged youth to overcome challenges and drive positive change in society. He pledged to collaborate with Inua AI to create job opportunities for the youth at MMTC, recognizing the importance of empowering the younger generation for the future of society. In addition to football, the DRM Foundation April Games also included other disciplines, including volleyball, where Kuyua girls defeated Mwembula women in 3 straight sets.
Now, David Osewe and Julius Owino were among the Donholm Senior FC players awarded during the awards gala of the team competing on the Wadau League. The players were rewarded for being the best in the team that competed in the 10-team league last season. Our KBC crew was on hand to give us the following.
Donholm Seniors Football Club rewarded the best performing players, among them David Osewe, who was awarded the Most Valuable Player award, and Julius Owino, who was recognized for being the best defender. Alex Mwaka was named the best keeper, Abdulati Fomaru the best midfielder, Oscar Kadenge the best striker, and Emmanuel Ateti the most disciplined player.
We are here to celebrate our success and to ensure that our players are motivated and they're doing the right thing, and that they're able to grow the club to the next level.
Extreme Sports CEO Hussein Mohammed commended the team for having a good structure that can be emulated by other teams. The team celebrated winning the Wadau League for the 2nd year running.
It's very important that we celebrate each other. And I think for Donholm Seniors, they've done a wonderful job. Congratulations to them for winning the Waze League. And the Wadau League has been a very pivotal sort of structure within our football fraternity in terms of advocating for the importance, or rather the urgency that we have in mentoring footballers.
Faith Akinyi for Legends Edition.
From the Handball League, Trans-Nzoia thrashed Buccaneers 41-34 in one of the men's Handball League matches played today at the Nyayo National Stadium. In other matches, Desert Scorpions defeated Nanyuki 44-36, while Ulinzi women humbled Daystar 38-20. Let's take a look.
Kevin Wasike scored 10 goals to propel Trans-Nzoia handball team to a 41-34 victory over Buccaneers at the Nyayo National Stadium. Colin Simiyu and Dan Ngoni were also on target for Trans-Nzoia with 9 goals each, while Brian Etiang netted 6 goals. On the other hand, William Ochoyo and Fortune Isaac were the top scorers for Buccaneers with 6 goals each. In another match, Desert Scorpion defeated Nanyuki 44-36 with Bernard Mutinda, Wilson Gadimba, and Maximilian Oloshuku scoring 5 goals for Desert Scorpion, while Willie Sande scored 6 goals for Nanyuki. James Ome, Collins Nzau, and George Kea scored 3 goals each for Nanyuki. In the women's category, Ulinzi Sharks beat Daystar 38-20 with Sarah Wasike and Sharon Mulei top scoring for Ulinzi Sharks with 10 and 7 goals, while Elizabeth Bella and Lydia Juma were the top scorers for Daystar with 7 and 4 goals respectively. Joy Nabwile for Legends Edition.
Now, Jen Hato has made tremendous strides in making football her career, as she joins the Mathare United team after attracting the club with her performance in school. She has also played for the under-17 and under-20 national teams. Hato spoke to us about her football life and her next steps in achieving her dream of becoming one of the best. Frank and the KBC crew recorded the following story for us.
They say an apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and that is what best describes 18-year-old Jane Hato's journey in football, where she is a rising star.
Naitwa Jane Hato, I'm 18 years old. Nilianza ball nikikuwa 8 years.
I was brought up in a family of football. Babangu na mamangu wote walikuwa wanacheza ball. So hiyo ndio kitu ilinimotivate kwa sababu kwa kila kitu nilikuwa nafanya nilikuwa nataka kuwa better than them.
Hato has featured for the Mathare United team since she came of age to grace the Norway Cup just as she had envisioned.
Nimecheza Maisa Championship from under 12, under 14. Venye nilifika under 14, my dream ilikuwa tu kwenda Norway Cup yenye mamangu na babangu wote walienda. So nikifika under 14 hiyo ndio ilikuwa dream yangu. So kufika under 14 nikachaguliwa Norway Cup na pia mimi nikaenda kama captain Norway Cup. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa dream yangu nikistart off as football. But sasa when nilifika under 14, my mother pia alikuwa anacheza Harambee Starlets. So nilikuwa naenda coach game zao na hiyo ilikuwa inanimotivate pia mimi. Dream yangu ilikuwa tu kuingia kwa hiyo tunnel tu. Kuingia tu kwa hiyo tunnel ku represent country.
Her star shone brightly at school too to grace the regional championship with Madeira girls after getting her call up to the under-17 national soccer team.
So 2019 nilipata my first call up. I was 14 years ya under 17, of which tulienda ku represent Kenya uko Sekafa, Uganda. Tulikuwa second runners up. That was my first call up. Nilikuwa youngest player kwa hiyo Harambee Starlets. 2020 tukacheza school games. I think tulifika regionals, but hiyo kwa match of the dream. Ikafika 2023 nilikuwa captain wa shule yetu. Tukaweza kufika nationals na pia tukaweza kufika East Africa, kurudi back home. I think hiyo kufika national ili tupatie exposure sana kuonekana kwa national team. So tukaitwa call up yetu. I think 7 players kwa shule yetu tukaitwa national team.
Hato proved herself to captain the under-20 Rising Starlets in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, where they'll miss the ticket, unfortunately, to Cameroon after downing Angola.
Played against Angola ilikuwa World Cup qualifiers. Tukawafunga home and away. Sasa tukaenda kwa the next time kucheza against Cameroon. Tungeshinda hiyo game tunge qualify to the World Cup. That kushinda home and away. Sasa hapo ndio dream yetu under 20 ilikuwa cut short.
She however believes they will reach there one day with the right state of mind.
Hizo zote zilifanyika, bado kuna a lot of competition za Sekafa, za World Cup qualifiers. Bado tuna aim kwenda huko. Jumi dream yangu as a player mimi tu one day nitabeba timu yangu Harambee Starlets hadi World Cup. So bado dream ijakuwa cut short.
Jen Hato, who has cleared high school recently, rejoined her mother Anne Alwatch at Mathare United Women's FC after a brief sojourn with Soccer Assassins. Anne, who is the head coach, gladly signed her back, saying the relationship has enhanced cohesion in the team, whose target is to earn their promotion to Women's Premier League.
So far Hato impact yake kwa timu imekuwa poa, being that amekuwa captain under 20 na ametoka Madeira, so akona vast improvement, na pia ukiangalia kwa team so many people wame come up kumuona kwa nini alitoka timu ya Premier League akakuja Mathare. So there's a lot of encouragement na motivation amebring sana kwa team. So performance yake imekuwa better, ameweza kusaidia kwa game kadhaa zile amecheza. So far saizi akona bao 2 since join team. Relationship between the mother and daughter inasaidia team sana kwa sababu unapata most of the thing tuko na yeye tukimguide, and I think imeweza changia sana kwa team ku bring element ya togetherness pia kwa team.
Now, Jen Hato's story embodies the sentiment that you start them young, grow them, and make them champions. And now in our next story, we also have another angle to that, making them champions. That it's not just hard work, but also patience, as the next story tells us. The most successful people are the ones that have had the most failures. Words of a great man that keep Victoria Sports Academy football players hopeful that one day their lives will change after many trials. The team from Siaya that is enduring very tough times still made it to the finals of the Chapadimba Nyanza region and finished second at the Rausha Kipaji tournament in Nakuru. Let's hear their story.
Their faces tell it all. A smile had to come by. But a reflection on their past gives them a vision of the success that awaits them. At dawn, they gather in harmony, holding each other's hands. And at sunrise, they begin their walk.
I decided to play football because many girls are engaging in other activities that are not pleasing. So I decided to join football team. Tulinipeleka football ni kwamba nilikuwa nasikia history mingi kuhusu football kwa sababu hata huko kwetu kuna wengine wamejenga nyumba zingine poa poa kwa sababu ya football. And also me, I wanted to be like them. Kuna challenge yoyote, but what man can, kitu kijana anaweza fanya, girls wanaweza ifanya better. Na ndo maana pia niko hapa na nacheza ball. Ukitaka kuenjoy game, una take time yako na concentrate, no take instruction kwa coach.
During the day, they run and put in all the efforts. And in the afternoon, they keep going for it minute by minute, with their eyes set on their destination, a successful point to their story. They come from East Game in Siaya, some from very poor homes where a meal a day is a prayer answered, and some from homes without parents where the sun does not shine.
Wasichana wanalemewa sana kwa maisha yao kwa sababu wengine wana engage kwa some activities that hata kama wazazi nalingana na states yenye mali unatoka. Sasa niseme kama mzazi ana pesa, maybe anaweza tuma mtoto wake ati afanye activity nyingine yenye sio poa. Sasa ningependa kuambia wasichana wenzangu wajue kama uko na talent, show talent space. I've been struggling a lot since class 1 and I like football. And I knew that one day God will remember me and I'll go far. And for that time, I'll be happy and my parents too will be happy. Hizo challenges other girls face at home, like being married when they are youths, hiyo ndo kitu ball pia imetusaidia sana.
A place where teenage pregnancies is not news.
Hii ni shida moja kubwa sana kwa rural areas. Unapata wasichana wadogo, unapata maybe saa zingine wakienda shule, kuna mtu anawadanganya akiwa na pikipiki, kuja nikupatie lift asubuhi, jioni, na unapata sasa inakuwa ni mtindo wamezoeana, na umejua kishazoeana, sasa hapo ndio unapata urafiki inakuja inaingiana, na sasa msichana mdogo pia unaweza mwambia kitu na ana believe, na unapata wasichana pia wanatoka kwa zile familia hazina usaidizi ya kutosha. So msichana ukimwambia nitakupatia 200 twende hivi, atakubali.
But for the few in this academy, they are protected from all that by their love of football. The only thing that keeps them all safe under the guidance of Coach Dennis Otieno, a man who sacrificed all that he had to shine a distant light in the lives of these young girls.
For the girl child, maisha imekuwa sio rahisi, ni ngumu, because ukiangalia wale wasichana tuko nao, wale tumekuja nao hapa na wale tumewacha nyumbani, wengi wanatoka kwa familia si wale hawajiwezi, na wengine ni mayatima, waliwachwa wakiwa wachanga. They were almost losing hope in life, na through sports ile niseme ndio kifaa nilikuwa nayo inaweza wasaidia, nimeitumia, tumewarudisha shule wale waliwacha, na wale hawakuwa na hope walikuwa shule tu, bora wamekuwa shule, at least kuna hiyo hope imekuja through sports. Na sahii ukiangalia hata performance yao before na sahii kuna difference kubwa sana. Kuna ile commitment, unaweza ona huyu mtoto ako na lengo kwa kitabu kulingana na vile anasoma. The same way anaweka bidii kwa kiwanja ndio pia anaweka bidii kwa darasa.
Some words and encouragement of support make these girls believe that their suffering will come to an end. They struggled to find means to get to Nakuru for the Rausha Kipaji tournament, but their performance paints no picture of their suffering.
Victoria Sports Academy is a team in game Siaya. It's a girls team. Most of them are 15 and 16. They are playing in the under-20 category in Rausha Kipaji this year. There's something very exciting about the team, and I happen to be in one of the WhatsApp groups of the team where they were fundraising to make it to Nakuru this year. And people were giving in all quantities, the lowest amount that you can think of.
Now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of this is love. The love they have for each other strengthens their bond. Hope that there is a bright future at the end keeps them on the pitch playing football. And the faith that there is a God somewhere above gives them the belief that they will one day see prosperity.
Kusia, sometimes balls ni shida, but tunang'ang'ana tu. Tunajua one day God will remember us.
The Victoria Academy has about 90 players, both boys and girls. It was started years back in Deep Sea Slum in Nairobi before moving to Siaya in 2021. And since then, several players, mostly girls, have benefited from the academy. They have no sponsors and survive solely on contributions from well-wishers.
I had an opportunity to talk to their head coach, and most of the challenges they face is they're not in a position to get all the equipment and the facilities that they would want to be able to compete with the rest of the girls from the rest of the country or from the academies and schools that are elite. So it's a big challenge for them. Most of them are going to the same school, but their parents are not in a position to even pay for their school fees. So the coach has to go out of his way to look for well-wishers and people to fundraise for him so that he's able to keep the children in school.
Nilitembelea familia moja, nikapata mtoto anakisha ile kuni ya moto ya kupika. Anakisha and then ikiwaka, ikishika moto vizuri, anatumia hiyo light kusoma. So ilikuwa painful.
Either way, these girls are hopeful of one day becoming professional players, playing in the elite women leagues around the world.
Nataka nicheze mpira hadi nifike juu, pale Mungu anaweza nifikisha. Nataka hadi kuwa professional player like Messi, Ronaldo.
For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Buckley Feather.
Oh, thank you, Bax, for that very resounding story, which also tells that behind every triumph, there is the untold story of laughter and tears. We wish, of course, the Victoria Sports Academy girls the best in their endeavor to be the best. And also, of course, there are many other Kenyans who are going through the same. Do not give up. That is the spirit. Now, on the international scene, Leicester City has been promoted to the Premier League after Leeds United were thumped 4-0 by Queen's Park Rangers. Leicester can now claim the championship title on Monday with a victory at Preston if third-placed Ipswich fails to beat Hull City on Saturday. Let's take a look.
The 4-0 defeat at Loftus Road means Daniel Farke's side stay 4 points behind championship leaders Leicester with only one game left. The Foxes remain on track to amass 100 points on their way back to the top flight following their relegation last season. Leicester can now claim championship title on Monday with victory at Preston if that place Ipswich fails to beat Hull City on Saturday. Ipswich can join Leicester in the Premier League next season if they pick up 5 points from the remaining 3 matches. Tuesday's 5-0 hammering of Southampton made it back-to-back wins for Leicester City that had looked to be stumbling towards automatic promotion.
And now from the NBA, Tyrese Haliburton converted a three-point play with 1.6 seconds left in overtime to give the Indiana Pacers a 2-1 lead over the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference first-round playoff series. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards, 36 points and 9 rebounds, gave the Minnesota Timberwolves a 126-109 victory over Phoenix Suns.
Haliburton registered 18 points, 16 assists and 10 rebounds in the 121-118 win.
Free throw line, jumper perfect. Don't fight the defense, take what they... Drives on Neesmith,
Chris Middleton had scored 42 points for the Bucks, who were again without the injured Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Nembhard got it started. When you get the ball in the paint,
Porter now has 8 threes in this series.
Elsewhere, Luka Doncic scored 22 points and registered 10 rebounds and 9 assists as Dallas Mavericks beat Los Angeles Clippers 1-1-90.
Herb in game 1. Gafford, second effort. Gafford's back looks pretty good to me.
Kyrie Irving scored 19 points in the final 14 minutes as Maverick took a 2-1 lead in their Western Conference first-round playoff series.
Irving finds a spot.
Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards, 36 points and 9 rebounds, gave the Minnesota Timberwolves a 126-109 victory over the Phoenix Suns.
Goes inside all the way as Harden backed up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap on the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday evening. And of course, we cannot ignore the fact that, we are going through a very tough time, but also our sports people, the young people. It was quite interesting to see though that Victoria Sports Academy, what they are going through and their determination, their resilience with their coaches and themselves to come on. And okay, Fayyaz, on the news, of course, we cannot pretend that all things are normal, especially with the weather situation in the country, can we?
It's a heartbreaking situation. With the floods the death toll has risen to 76 and 6 more people died. I don't know. Yes, we were expecting intense rains. There's a huge issue in terms of climate change. Are we playing our role or not? But what do you think as a country, as a government, we should do?
I haven't heard much, but what I know is that the government is trying to put measures in place. And this, by the way, is, the onus has fallen on the county governments, first and foremost, because the floods are in isolated areas. So basically, I know it's going to be maybe declared a national disaster very soon, but definitely whatever is going on is a kind of a wake-up call to governments. And the people alike. Not just governments, but even the people, the Kenyan people, must wake up to the reality that things can go lopsided any day. And we must always keep alert on that.
Yeah, we really need to zip up our drainage systems, lives that could have been saved. It's a sad state of affairs. But let's hope we overcome this, because it's going to last a couple more days, but I guess we need to prepare ourselves, because it could be worse again next year.
And we need also to, the Kenyans, for the Kenyan people, some people are taking things for granted. Like I saw, what's up, a lorry, people loading on and, hewing on the driver to drive through the waters. And it was swept away. Why would we want to take chances with that? So I think Kenyans all over the country must take it up.
They have to be more responsible in what they do in such circumstances. But, a big round of applause to Wilson Lemkut, who saved the lives of 16 children.
Oh yeah, that was
a daring
really good.
rescue. I definitely commend him. That's 16 children saved. That is amazing, miraculous. He's an unsung hero, as our story said.
No, it's great. It's great to have, of course, an opportunity. But these are people who are coming, bringing out themselves and saying, let's do this. And I believe that, Kenyans, we have got the heart of togetherness. When we are faced with disaster, Kenyans always come together and say, you know what, let's do this. And I hope that, you don't leave anybody behind. And whatever it is, please come out. We don't have to wait for the government to do anything. Ourselves need to come up and support those that are in dire need. We don't have to wait for the Red Cross. We don't have to wait. Of course, they're doing their bit. But we really need something from the Kenyan people to come up and say, you know what, we are not going to leave a man behind.
I agree with you, Topi, and we Kenyans are great. In these kind of circumstances, we do come together and we do unite. Let's hope for the best from the Almighty. On a lighter note, Leicester's been promoted.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Leicester.
It's back in the Premier League.
I mean, it's very interesting that it had to be relegated in the first place because, like, this is a team that, won the, the league just a few years back. That
alone was a big shocker.
Yeah, and then, looking, of course, at the big guns, of course, there's also a big story to be told there. There's a big story on the big guns there, Arsenal, Manchester City. Well, the story still continues and it still goes to unravel.
Yeah, it's an interesting Premier League and it's so tight between Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. Apparently, Liverpool had to win today and there was a huge argument with Mohamed Salah and Jurgen Klopp. There'll be more to that story from you next week, I'm sure. But thank you so much, Topi. It's been an interesting chat, and that's.
Okay, thank you very much. And of course, like as usual, stay tuned on KBC Channel 1 for the best in sporting reports all over the world. I'm Topi Liambila saying bye for now, but stay tuned to KBC Channel 1.
Sports News was brought to you by Mozart Bet. You can lift the plane. The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
Right, as I always say, Topi at his best with the latest in sports. And we had a pretty good chat across the board. And that's all from our newsroom. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition was Lucy Mwara. I'm Fayyaz Qureshi. Have a good night.